Hi, this is Michelle Ockers. This video records my process and the tools I use for sense making in preparation for a keynote speech.
So back in October I put together an outline as part of a proposal for what I would cover around the future of work, how that impacts the nature of work, with a focus on the administrative roles of the people who are attending the conference, what skills are going to be needed to be future ready, and how to take charge of your own learning and create opportunity. So although I'm pretty swept up on the latter part of the presentation, the self-directed learning, it's the future of work and getting the pitch on that right and the messaging right that I need to read up on and do my thinking on mostly. So I've gone to my Digo library where I bookmark content as I read and research things, and I'd put in a stack of content with the tag future of work. So I'm basically going through and reading things that I've flagged on future of work in the past. So for each article, I'm opening them up in Safari, which is my internet browser. Then I'm clicking on a little bookmarklet in my browser. This is an Evernote bookmarklet, and what it does is it will open a window which allows me to clip a simplified version, see a much cleaned up version of the article directly into Evernote. I can tell it which notebook in Evernote to store the item in. I can add tags to it, and it will basically save that item for me into Evernote. And you can see here I'm actually in Evernote, and I've saved a whole copy, a clean copy of the article. Now, one of the reasons I like to do this is, as Helen Blunden pointed out recently in a little video that she shared on Snapchat, links can get broken. So what I've started doing, every time I save something to Digo now, I'm also saving it to this folder in Evernote called Curated Material. So the link goes into Digo, but the full article goes into Evernote, along with a range of tags which make it easier for me to search and find things. You might ask, why am I still bothering to use Digo then? Well, the thing about Digo is it's really good for sharing content. So if someone says to me, I'm interested in future of work, what I can do is basically search on this tag future of work, and it will pull up all of the resources in my library on the tag future of work, and I can then basically generate a URL to send that to them so that they can basically come in and self-help and look through everything in future of work. So then I'm back in Evernote and using it to make notes as I read and pull together content. So for instance, here's one note that I'm putting together, a list of megatrends on the future of work from different sources, just to get my head around what different research, what different thinkers are saying, so I can pick out those that are most relevant and include them in my presentation. I've got this other folder called Pink Sheet Source Banks. I'll show you what pink sheets are in a moment. But what I keep in here is a whole stack of content that I could use to build up pink sheets, which represent different ways of capturing and communicating knowledge around a particular concept. So for instance, here I've got a bank of metaphors, different metaphors that I could use to illustrate different points. Here I'm started on a list of quotes about learning. I'm running one similarly, study bank, key studies around the future of work. So these all start to build up and give me a range of sources I can draw on to build pink sheets over time. And the final tool I'm using to do my thinking before I actually start putting the presentation together is called a pink sheet. You can see I've got a number of pink sheets on the go here, and basically each pink sheet represents one key concept. In this case, is a concept around the value of uniquely human traits and how that's going to increase due to the impact of technology. So you go from big picture context to the concept to more granular detail with stories and studies. And as you can see, there is both right brain and left brain ways of communicating that content. So I'm building these up as I'm reading and gradually pulling them together in conjunction with content from those source banks I just showed you. So the main goal this afternoon is to nail the pink sheet for the start of this keynote presentation, which is all about what is the future of work, what are the key trends, which are relevant to the context of this particular audience, who in this case are professional administrative staff at a university. Along the way, I no doubt will continue to build up material in the source banks, continue to play around with ideas for different pin sheets, maybe start additional pin sheets as I read and think and find stuff that's relevant. But the main goal is to get that one introductory pin sheet done around forces shaping the future of work.